Hi there, welcome to the video. My name is RedeemerX2. I'm just gonna have a little dialogue and chat about what needs to change on Gran Turismo 7. I've played Gran Turismo since Gran Turismo 2 when I was about 5 years old. I've grown up and gone through different racing games. I've played plenty of F1. I've played plenty of Project Cars 1 and 2. Project Cars 3, we don't talk about that. I've done Grid Motorsport, much more arcadey kind of racer if you're not familiar with it. And we are now in today where Gran Turismo 7 is, and there's a lot of things they've gone backwards on, a lot of things they're just doing that are anti, player, essentially. And I just want to talk about it, give my points of view on it, and if you agree or you have any ideas, I would want to know what you think. So firstly, I want to talk about the single player experience. The first thing you notice when you play Gran Turismo 7 for the first time is there's not a single grid start race. From the first race when you're driving your little hot hatches to when you're doing the Group 3 championships, all the way to the GT3 Cups and the Group 1 races. Not a single, they're all rolling starts, and in some cases the guy in first place gets about 10 cars length ahead of the car behind him. Every race is essentially a race to the finish line, almost like the missions that we have in the game. We've already got missions that have stuff like that. Why do we have to have the normal racing be like that as well? Speaking about the missions as well, there's not been any new ones since the game launched. Yes, they added the 1 hour endurances a month after the game came out, but there's not been a single one ever since. I'd love to do a 1 lap magic around the entire Nürburgring in racing as Audis. They can't do it in the Mercedes because they've already done it with the pass in at the start of the first sector of the track, in like the third or the fourth category of the missions. But we need some more longer races. Le Mans, you can do classic Le Mans cars. You can do the 1950s Corvette, the 1960s, the Chaparral 2J. Go to the 70s or 80s when there's another one. The Nissan R8 or XJR9, the Peugeot 908. Or that, no, they don't have the Audi R8, but the Peugeot 908, and then probably one of the modern ones, or the Nissan, or one of the more modern Toyotas or Porsches. Have a race like that. But they don't have anything like that, and unfortunately there's a lot of, once you've done them, you can't do them again because there's literally no point. You can update the leaderboards, but once you've earned the money, there's no point in doing them again. So it's quite frustrating that, especially the endurance races, you can only enter them once and you can't do them again. So that's quite frustrating. And if all that wasn't enough, when it comes to your normal races, the AI difficulty is very adaptive. I've seen many occasions I would use a car that I would see after 2 laps the AI were doing these lap times, and then I would match them, and then all of a sudden, laps 3 to 5, they are doing 5 seconds a lap slower. So the AI rubber band themselves, even though I'm on the hardest difficulty available, they slow down and are all of a sudden not really a threat to me, and it's like I'm trying to challenge myself, but the AI is so unpredictable and unbalanced. Like, you're looking at the gameplay on screen here, the AI is really quick initially, doing 139s. I'm doing a 142 here, but I'm well aware of the fact that as I'm going through this, I'm going to be quicker than the AI. And it's quite frustrating. And I do a 2-stopper on this race, and the cars that do a 1-stopper, I'm already ahead of them by the time I finish my second pit stop, I believe. Now, fundamentally, I believe it's the PS4 holding us back in this situation. We've got AI Sophie available for the PS5 users, but the PS4 can't handle the complex software that it needs, essentially. So I think there should be premium races for the PlayStation 5. Add your championships, add your X, Y, and Z, and make it available for the PS5. We paid the extra for the console. The PS4 is 12 years old this year. End of the day, it's got to eventually give out, and I'm confident the next console, the GT8 or GT Sport 2, that's going to have GT Sophie fully fledged and operational, and the PS4 is not going to be compatible. When that comes out, odds are it'll be out when the PlayStation 6 or 7 comes out, knowing polyphony. Make a great game, but the delay between games and the overall rollout of new content, and the content that they do release, needs to be stepped up for the supporting of a live service game such as this one. Lastly, about the single player experience still, is the cafe system. Once you've done the cafe system, you've done that final championship, you're on your own. There is nothing else really to need to do. You don't have any more guidance, and it does become more of a sandbox that way, which is good. But there's no sense of reward or accomplishment for any race that you do. You complete all the GT3 Cup races, which are the hardest races in the game in my opinion. You try and do the Red Bull Ring in the wet. You might start in first place, but you're going to struggle to keep there. It's the one time the AI is actually decently challenging us because wet weather's just hard to drive in. So yeah, once you finish the once you finish that championship, it's an open sandbox, but there's no more rewards. It's like you're earning pennies to do races that you'd be expecting to earn 200, 300, 400 grand for, you know, not per race, if they're like, you know, within reason. You know, doing a 20-lap race around Fuji Speedway, I'm expecting, you know, 1 million credits or 1.5 mil for a clean race bonus. But they should be adding more championships now. Like, they haven't added a single championship since the game came out. They've added more race events, yes, but they haven't added a single championship. I'd love to see a genuine Group C race, you know, the XJR9, the R927P, the 787, the Porsche. I'd love them to add the Toyota Minolta. When they add that car, make it 5 race endurance around Le Mans, make it like 30-minute endurances or 1-hour endurances, one around Le Mans, one around Spa, one around the Nürburgring, one around Suzuka, and I say Silverstone, but they don't have it, or Monza. You know, those 5 tracks would be iconic to have as a, you know, 30-lap race, 30-minute race, whatever you want to do. And then you have GT Soviet AI control and make it a PS5 exclusive championship. And just have different categories like that. I could create 10 championships right now for the Group 3, Group 4, Group 2, Group 1. I could do street cars. You know, there's all these little things they could be doing, but they don't do anything. And every, you know, 2 or 3 months they'll add 4 or 5 single event races that pay next to nothing. And you're sat looking at yourself going, why? What's the point? I've got 100% of everything. Track experience, licenses, missions, gold, everything, 100%. And there's been nothing new for the last 3 years of, you know, substantial value. When the game came out, I've got a video 3 years ago. I was recovering from COVID, so I was able to grind the game like crazy at that point. You were able to earn 150 grand every 3 minutes by doing a 3-lap race around the Sardinia windmills in the Group B races. And I grinded that out. And I'm so glad I did, because eventually they got rid of it. Like, the amount of money, I think it's like 40 grand now when it used to be like 98. You know, that was ridiculous. And then they brought these other races, Sardinia 800, which you see on screen now, Tokyo Expressway, the 30-minute race around Le Mans, and the 1-hour Spa endurance. You can do each one about 4 or 5 times before you're like, okay, what else can I do now? You know, we've had the exact same races for 3 or 4 years. At least rotate them, you know. Move it on to Bathurst, move it on to Brands Hatch, move it on to Autopolis, or just the variants. You know, I'd love the Super Formula races to have that option. You know, oh, there's a 10 race endurance, you go Fuji Speedway, Suzuka, Spa, do a street circuit to replicate Monaco or Singapore. I can't think of a track off the top of my head. But you understand what I mean. You want variety to earn money in the game, because once you've passed that final championship, you've finished the cafes. There's literally nothing really to do. You've got those extra cafes, but that's just car collection at the end of the day. It's not very interesting. Or the other cafes where they just unlock events and then there's nothing else after that, essentially. But yeah, bring more races in, use GT Sophie AI to your advantage, and make them PS5 exclusive. GT Sophie is already PS5 exclusive. Why not just add some events that are exclusive? It'll promote the PS5, the PS5 Pro, and it'll get less people on the PS4, because let's be honest, the PS4 is holding the current generation back as a result. The multiplayer experience now, there's a whole section of that. So you've got your sport mode, you've got your online mode, and then little bits in there. The sport mode, as great as it was when it came out, I think when sport came out, you had a new race every day, time trial for the day, new race every day. I thought that was the best way of doing it, because I am sick of doing the same race for a week at a time in a Group 3 or Group 4 car every time, racing for 20 minutes and then getting taken out turn 1, and then going back in there, starting again, getting taken out again, and then all of a sudden I have to stay in the race, or I'm going to lose a heap of rating, or I'm going to lose a little bit of rating because of I'm working my way up the field. I think the sport mode specifically, the actual sport event should be restricted to Gran Turismo events only. Your rank can be adjusted in public lobbies. Obviously, there'll need to be conditions set similar to sport mode, but let someone host them. Let's say minimum 8 drivers required. You get your own community going. You all race each other. Your rating goes up in that group. And obviously, there's obviously like variables that affect. Well, you're doing these lap times. You're doing this, this, and this. There'll be factors involved in it that keep it fair. But there needs to be something that brings it a bit more community-based. Because I think there should be open communication in public lobbies. Like everyone should chat to each other. Like in Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6, it's a star network system or whatever it was called. I can't honestly remember. But whoever was the host, if they left, the next person would become the host of the lobby, but everyone's connected to each other. I think it was a star system or a node system, something like that. I can't honestly remember. But a system like that, and everyone races each other that way, more people race public, and you allow, you can either have it on or off, you can allow public chat. The amount of people I race with, I'd love to have a chat with them while I'm racing with them. I can apologise in the moment. I can say, hey, I'm getting closer, just be aware, have that bit of banter. You make friends in these games. You can't make a single friend anymore because everyone is just doing auto messages. And if you say one slightly mean thing, they can report you. You're going to get your account banned for 7 days, 30 days, 90 days. Like, what? I paid a subscription fee. I've never had a ban, but this is about people that do. Because I know you can get banned so easily. So when I criticise people, I make sure I use genuine words that can't be, considered discrimination. It's just proper opinions. But honestly, we need the lobby system back in the Gran Turismo 5, Gran Turismo 6. You'd make a lobby up, you'd race people, you'd monitor the clean racing, you'd have people on mic saying, oh, this guy's dirty, he's taking me out. Then you'd have people talking at the same time, yeah, I saw that definitely happened. And then you'd kick the guy. If you left the lobby wouldn't end. The person who was there next longest would take over. You could do track vote at the end of the race. Whoever won the race, you say, hey, what PP or category do you want? He'd let you know in chat or over mic, and then you're there. And then everyone's happy, rather than having to, just sit in this one lobby, some streamer or a YouTuber, because they're the only people that get lobbies going these days. And if they don't like who you are, or if you're too good, or you're against the curve, you're gone. Or they could have a bad race, just bomb the lobby. You've waited 15 minutes for their last race to finish, not knowing that A, it was going to be the last one, or B, the host was going to quit, or C, the next race starts. The host gets taken out turn 1, and then he says, everyone restart, nobody quits. He's like, nah, F you guys, I'm going to restart the lobby. Like, it's not fun anymore. I don't like joining lobbies and have the opportunity that there be a chance that when it finishes, I'm not going to be able to race it because he's going to end the lobby and I've just wasted 30 minutes of my life just sitting around twiddling my thumbs, scrolling through TikTok or whatever it's going to be. Lastly, about the multiplayer, they need to fix the economy on that. You need about 3 times as much money for the reward system. I've just won an A+ race, S safety rating. I've won it by the skin of my teeth. What have I won? Oh, maybe 30 grand or 80. I don't know the exact numbers. It's been a while since I've played sport mode because it doesn't interest me anymore. But you win about, let's just say, under 100 grand, to be honest. So, and that's what I think it's every 30 minutes race C, or is it 20? I think it's 30. Let's just say 30 minutes. So you can earn 200 grand an hour. Let's say you race for 4 hours, you can earn 800 grand a day. But I want to buy this McLaren Group 3 car, the S20 mil. That would take you, what, 10? Well, if you earn 800 grand a day, 10, 20, about 25 days to earn 20 mil for a car that's not going to be in the shop when you can finally afford it. So the economy needs an adjustment. I understand it's because they need to make money on microtransactions. But $20 for $2 million is a rip-off. 20 mil? I think that would be the fair line. 20 mil for 20 bucks. I think that's the right way to do it. But you get 2 mil, which you can earn in, if you're earning 1.5 mil at the Spa with a clean race bonus, 1.5 mil, another an hour and 20 minutes. So 80 minutes you could earn that much money. So it's not fair, essentially. One other thing on the sport mode is, why don't they have just one-shot quali? Update the sport mode, one-shot quali, one lap around the track, and then that way you're not versing a guy who spent 6 hours doing the time trial, perfecting the lap, and then going on. I'm saying absolutely have that time trial there, but if he makes a mistake, all of a sudden it's game on, and I'd love to see that. The last thing I want to talk about is the new cars and the amount of time we're waiting for them, and the cars we seem to get. In the space of a year, we got 2 Suzuki Jimneys, one with a different nameplate. We haven't gotten a modern GT3 car since the 2020 Merc. I think that's the only modern one we have. We've also got the 28 Nismo that was either at launch or came in not long after the game came out. Everything else is about 2016 to 2010. You look at Assetto Corsa, which might have an exclusivity license, I don't know. But they've got all the modern Lamborghinis, all the modern Ferraris. You know, we don't have a Ferrari 488 Pista, which I think it was their GT3 car at one point. If it was, I don't know, because I don't see it in Gran Turismo. Pretty sure it was in Project Cars too, so that's why I think we should have had that car by now. But there's a lot of cars, desirable cars, that we're not getting, but we're getting an ambulance or an Alphard wagon. To a very niche community, absolutely, those cars would be awesome. And there are some cars like the, was it the Ford RS Cosworth, I think it was, that came out recently? And those cars are great, don't get me wrong. And to have them sprinkled in is great. But I want to see modern Group 3 cars, more modern Le Mans cars. I'd love to see what Peugeot did and Cadillac did with their World Endurance Championship cars. That one that didn't have a rear spoiler, that one looks sick in the game. And these, I'm not following cars massively, I just see them online from time to time, you know. But we need to have these cars that we're not waiting 2 years to get. And I don't want to see another Suzuki Jimny with the Antarctic badge on it. We've got Sierra, we've got the normal. Next we're going to have the Nevada Desert Edition. Nobody wants another Jimny. An identical Jimny. Except with the Sierra badge on it, which I'm surprised it increases the PB, because it would weigh it down if anything. They could add like race modifications like they had in Gran Turismo 5. You know, give me the classic Ford Sierra Cosworth, let me smack a race modification kit on it, and bing bang boom, you've got a Group 4 category car equivalent to the Alfa Romeo 155. There's plenty of opportunities to do that, and they haven't really taken it. I don't know what takes them so long to make these cars. I don't know if it's because they're going to make it for the Gran Turismo 4 and PS4 and PS5 models, or if it's because it just takes that long to make the car. But they need to implement something that's going to help them make it quicker, because they're going to fall behind. As much like as, I mean, I haven't played the new Forza. I think I've played one Forza once, like 2016. And I know the quality of their cars have been a bit shambles since they come out, but I guarantee they're releasing cars a lot more frequently than what Gran Turismo are. Now, as you can see from the gameplay above, you see I'm in VR too. When you're watching the replay at the start of the video, if you're still here, good on you if you're still here. At the start of the replay, third person, you can see fastest lap times, telemetry, where people were. I am aware I'm in VR, but in real life, you're gonna have someone in your ear saying, "Oh, he's 5 seconds behind me." You've got a radio button. You're gonna know. You like in F1, you can press the button and ask Jeff. I don't know what the fastest lap time is. I just did the fastest lap time then, but that's because it was just a purple second time. If it's blue, I don't know how far I am off the fastest lap time. I don't know where P2 is. I'm assuming they're right behind me on the track radar at the bottom right there. But when I'm coming from P20 trying to chase the leader, I don't know if I'm 5 seconds or 20 seconds behind him. And a great example of that, where it really made me suffer, is the 1 hour endurance at Bathurst we had for a weekly event a little while ago, where that Ford GT was winning the race. I was P3 after about 30 minutes in, and when you go in the pits it just changed the telemetry, so I knew I was about 40 seconds behind. Did my next pit stop, 20 seconds behind. It's like, okay, is he going to pit? Oh, yeah, about 20 seconds behind. I was like, okay, if I keep at this pace, I'll just catch him. I didn't know. I made a mistake, kept pushing. After an hour of racing, do you really want to come second because you made a little mistake? I ended up winning that race, but I had no idea where I was in terms of the cars ahead of me, cars behind me, how much time I was losing, how much time I needed to find. I need that little bit of information in VR2. I don't know if a great way to not break the immersion is you're on the straight, you look up a little bit. Have it in the ceiling of the cars. They know the car. I don't need the top 8 cars. I just need the car ahead of me, the car behind me, and the car in first. That's all I need. In fact, I just need the car ahead of me and the car behind me. P1, not the biggest deal. I'll find out where he is when I'm in P2. That's the only real issue with VR2. The PS5 Pro updates done really well. The immersion's a lot better, so I will say that's good. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Gran Turismo. Better single player, more, more events, more opportunities, more engagement with the game. Basically, I want to be able to enjoy everything that I'm doing. Get rewards. Give me more car rewards for doing like the GT3 Cup. We'll give you a ticket for one GT3 car, and you can be whichever one you want. So if you don't have a certain one yet, just get in and get it for free. Done. That's a solution right there. Another one, you're doing the Ferrari races. You've completed all the Ferrari races. Here is a invitation to buy a Ferrari. You've want to race in a Citroen. Here's a Citroen invitation. Jaguar, Aston Martin, Lamborghini, all these different Pagani, all these different ones where people are screaming, I've been waiting 3 years for an invitation and they still don't have it. Just put that in there. It wouldn't take much. It would just be a new ticket system. You've added the engine tickets, you added the free car ticket. There should be something they can do so that people can get what they want without pulling their teeth out, because they are literally locked behind a roulette system that isn't a roulette system. It's just an animation, because it's already predetermined what it is when you open that ticket. So if you've got 5 options on there, no matter what, if you quit the game before you accept it, it's going to be the same thing no matter what. So if you thought you've figured out something, I'm sorry to tell you, you're wrong. Single player money, more events, variety, rotate them round, and offer, Gran Turismo 5 and 6 had this as well. Daily login bonus, not the marathon. Every day you get a bit more money. First day you log in, 110%. Second consecutive day, 130, 150, 170, 200. If you don't log in the next day, it goes down to 170, 150, 130, and back down to 100%. It rewards player retention by earning twice as much money. Imagine how quickly you could buy a 20 mil Daytona Shelby if you were on 200% cash right now. You could earn 3 mil an hour. You could have a brand new, a Legends car in 7 hours of gameplay. And that's if you do it in Spa. I think it's quicker to do Tokyo if you've got the perfect car build, and as long as you don't ruin your safety bonus, clean race bonus by going wide at the final corner. But yeah, GT Sophie needs to be brought into the game a lot more. PS4 needs to stop being supported to a certain extent. Obviously it's part of the game. Next Gran Turismo that comes out, PS4 has to just not be a part of it anymore. And yeah, that's about it really. I think I've covered everything that needs to be talked about. Talked for long enough. It's a very basic video. But yeah, if you listen all the way through, I appreciate that. Tell me some feedback that you have for me. Tell me like, oh, what game do you wish they brought in? Like, do you want them to bring in one lap quali from Formula 1 games? Bring sprint modes in. So you got the 5 lap race where you do reverse grid, but you get points for the race. And then after that, full race, reverse grid, full points awarded. So you could get P4 in the 5 lap sprint, rolls are reverse, you get 4 points. Let's say you get 4 points for coming fourth. Reverse grid, it's a 30-minute race. You got all the fast cars behind you, but then you can work your way through, and you come P2 and you earn 26 points. You've got 30 points for the weekend. And the guy that came first in the first race, let's say he earned 10 points for the practice and he came second, so he's earned 20 points, he's 35 points, so there's still a benefit to, you know, doing well in the sprint race before the reverse quality. Just little things that I don't imagine would be very difficult because they've been done by other divisions, and Polyphony is a perfectionist when it comes to the quality of detail of their cars, but in the way we engage with the racing, the servers, the lobby systems, the economy, the way they bring the cars into the game, they all, as good as they are on a base level, fundamentally there needs to be improvements made. This has been Redeemer X2. I have rambled for 25 minutes. If you have anything I've missed, any ideas of your own, let me know. And I will let this gameplay play out if you're enjoying the VR gameplay. Thank you.